Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and a warm welcome to this week's Walking Wednesday. Yes, I have the visor on again, because of course I do. Yeah, I've just been in rehearsal. This is the latest running rehearsal that we've had so far, but we did actually start later as well. Just so happens we had some time in the theatre. Unfortunately, we still not have the people back. Some people still have COVID, some people had other commitments. Again, it's the same nightmare as usual. We're back to our usual regular scheduled programming of just 2 people. Although, this time we did actually have our technician, so that was nice. I just the wind again. The higher I put the visor up, the worse it gets. Right. Let me just... Okay. Right, off we go. Yeah, getting away from the chaos, but actually no, not really. Just from the car-related chaos, the vehicular chaos, because now we have the pedestrian chaos to look forward to. Yeah, I decided to go here this week. Well, then again, it was because I was just following people down. I said, oh, I need to pick up direction. I'll just part ways with everyone as we go. Not everyone went to their accommodations, so don't try and track where they live. Just so you know. So yeah, I didn't even know what I'm saying. Not even like anyone's seen them. I'm always cautious of that. Every now and then I'll always get somebody asking me, you know, why is it that I film so close to where I live and everything? Is everyone going to track me down? Well, no, because I always stop filming before I get back home, or anywhere near it for that matter. That's a very deliberate thing to do. And yeah. As far as people go, as I've mentioned to people are currently unsubscribing, so clearly no one wants to track me down anyway. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Although I'm confused because it seems to, again, it always happens when I put more effort into things that I'm doing. It's like I can have an influx for a while of people that start subscribing randomly while just Walking Wednesday streams are going. Then the moment I post, I don't know, a gacha review or something, suddenly it gets the regular viewers come back and they do their usual regular viewing thing, or in some cases take out the extended edition, because actually I split up this time, and then nothing. So I don't really know. It's one of those weird situations. It's interesting, although I will mention that the reason I had the extended and the theatrical version of the gacha review come out at the same time was because I wanted to see which one was actually going to get more viewership. I'm thinking of doing like a double experiment. So next review I think I'm doing is going to do extended on main channel and theatrical on the more gacha from Jacob, so I have a bit of a more controlled experiment. Because that's the thing they say, is that you never do an experiment once, you always do it at least, well, they say 3 times, so you don't get an anomalous result, but I mean, I'm gonna have to do like 4 times actually, because it's back and forth. So I'm gonna check that out, because there's some stuff I want to do on that more gacha from Jacob channel, stuff I don't know. And then once this course is over, I can finally focus back on some Butter Bunch stuff. Because again, you know, what if Piccolo had a son, for example? I don't think I've touched that script since 2020. I guess I might have done like a few minor tweaks here and there, but honestly, not that many. Now we're 2 months into 2022. Well, 2 and a bit now. And really, I don't know. Then again, I have actually mentioned before that the main priority for until the middle of this month is going to be the remake, which I've actually got to address in for creative writing as well, for digital writing, because I have to submit something for that module. So once I get back home, I'm going to do that. Again, I point back home. That's looking back home in that direction, which just means a general home situation, general homeliness, of course. Oh yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I've lost what I'm saying anymore. But yeah, I've got to do that, and I've got to present. I'm going to say, be prepared to speak for 5 minutes on what we're going to do just prepare some sort of presentation there. So that's precisely why I need to do. I mean, obviously we have to say like what platform is going to take place and stuff like that. They just want to know that we actually are prepared. Unfortunately, honestly, digital writing, it's a very slow. Someone waved to me, but they don't know that I'm filming myself, so I think they thought they were on camera. Anyway, I try and get away from traffic, and then suddenly something comes on with a siren. Fantastic. I've had enough sirens for today, haven't I? Then again, I'm almost done with Siren Story, actually. Not as far as, rehearsing, as far as writing goes. I've got like 2.5 scenes to go, really. Because, I've managed to... I think also 2 songs. I was going to do 4 more songs, actually, at one point, but I realized, no. That is not happening. Yeah, I don't know. I could put one of the other ones in that I did Factor Through Song, which was meant to go there, but I don't think it was that good. So yeah, I think that one will probably be redrafted as well, and I don't have enough time to do that. Who knows? Yeah. As I was saying, digital writing actually is an interesting one because I think it's the one that I'm enjoying the most at the moment, just because of the other ones having lots of pressure. And I did say it is very interesting, actually, the fact that hey, Rick Astley's playing. I'm gonna get copyrighted. Never gonna let UMG claim me. Anyway. Let's go down here. It's an interesting place. I've already been down this particular street before. I know, all the clubs are down there, so it should be fine. Oh, except for this one. I walked into the head of reception. Oh, actually, no, I shouldn't say that. No, I'm not going to say that. Not going to fall for it. Not give anyone any clues. But yeah. Digital writing, the thing I was talking about. Okay, so basically, what was I saying about it? Yeah, it's one of Jumbo's because about less pressure, and it's weird because I talked about the fact that one of my lowest GCSE grades actually was a C in IT, and I spouted a bunch of letters at people. Big exams in the UK, you do at 16 usually, 15, 16, depending on where you are, when your birthday is. And yeah, an IT class I got the grade C. That was what that was. So there's 2 people fighting there. Might as well just play fighting, roughhousing. Okay. Yeah, so one of my lowest grades that I got, we talked about that yesterday because we mentioned grades randomly. And again, it's talking about like how the Music Girl has taught me so much in terms of editing and everything. Because actually, for my other creative writing class, Script Portfolio, we were tasked over reading week to look up some job descriptions, some actual job descriptions that we would actually apply, basically could apply for in theory, and why would fit the skill set that they're offering. I end up overcompensating again to a presentation because I always do that. I always overcompensate. Yeah, it actually put a lot of things into perspective for me, because considering the reading week that I just had, where I wasn't able to relax pretty much at all because I was always trying to schedule some sort of rehearsal, juggle between all these different things, all the stuff that I've been overwhelming so far, and one of the cast members was actually asking me how I cope with everything and maintain a YouTube channel at the same time. And yeah, even today said, "Oh, and you still don't drink?" Like, well, somehow, not even coffee. I've realized that I'm at a point in my life, I think, where I just need a break. I need a break from education. Because I could have done a master's. I checked to see if there was a master's in digital writing, because that's the one I'm enjoying most right now, again, like I said before. But unfortunately, there isn't. So, or at least not here. I could check some other places, but then I thought, yeah, but why though? Why do I need to do that right now, or can I just like have a moment where I can actually just develop my skills, get some actual experience doing some professional writing and voice acting, all those other things that I was doing before, actually get some income involved, and finally return a little to form with the channel, so I have some flexible hours to work with stuff. Because I mean, I did warn everyone the fact that I myself was warned of the fact that I could I basically needed to like knuckle down for this year and just managed to get through the courses and everything. Not just manage, actually, do the courses well, obviously. I phrased that incorrectly. And yeah, the channel will have to come second, like it always has done to begin with. But yeah, obviously the more time I've done YouTube, the more I've realized that I want to keep doing it. And also, if something works out and I can suddenly, make a living off stuff like the Mutant Girl, all of the Butterverse stuff, then that's what I want to do. But I can't get there unless I dedicate the time to do so, unless I find a way to like learn all the skills that I want. And I'm just not in the right mind space to do that at all while I'm still in full-time education. So I've realized that, you know what, I'm going to give myself a year. I'm doing some professional stuff as well to get myself an income, full-time, part-time, whatever it might actually be. Maybe I'll even apply to be an assistant at a youth theatre for something, because actually that's something I wanted to do for quite some time now. Just go back to the main source of my enjoyment for theatre over the years, which was places that do theatre in a way that's just fun. None of these super mature themes or complicated stuff. Just a bunch of kids having fun. Putting something together because for the sheer love of it. Of course, in this case, I'd be getting paid as well. But yeah. So yeah, I really do wonder about that. That's something that I want to investigate in. And I do have, to be fair, quite a lot of contacts that I can actually talk to and discuss with them. So yeah. That's what I'm going to manage and structure my next year about. And then afterwards, depending on how things go, actually, I can always return to do a master's in something and pursue stuff further. Because yeah, really, that's what I want. I've realized that as I was going through job descriptions and realizing, I do have quite a lot of the skills here, and the lesson itself provided me with that knowledge too. I have plenty of skills that I just haven't properly exercised yet. Like when I was doing that locations runner thing, apparently that's a better credit than I thought. You'll probably remember that because I missed that one stream and then Aiden took over, etc., etc. But yeah, that particular film, actually, A Christmas Number 1, apparently my tutor is friends with the director of that, and said that actually because of where that was placed, it was Sky Atlantic or something. He told me to look up specifically the version of Sky or whatever it might have been. It was actually a very good credit to have. And that's one that I should actually put on a CV as first and foremost. So, yeah, again, all these things that I've realized, oh yeah, I'm not as woefully underprepared as I thought I was. I have other skills. I have stuff that I've done outside of education, and even stuff that I've done with YouTube, because we did an exercise on the day as well about how we'd apply for a researcher job at BBC, because actually that's one place that the tutor says that lots of first-time writers go for, then they work their way up. I don't know if I'll do that necessarily myself, but in theory, I could. And the thing is, and that's because we went through all of the specifications on how we would find out about certain stuff, what we'd say during an interview, all those things really. So, quite honestly, I feel more prepared for life outside of uni than I have in a long time, since I started properly thinking about it to begin with. So yeah, I went through a very, over the weekend, I went through like an almost depressive episode where I was just lying there contemplating my own existence, low energy, having finally got a day off from rehearsals and everything. And you know, afterwards I actually talked to Monet about this, and she actually helped me with some of the stuff, because she immediately started searching up like 10 to 15 job descriptions, which I went through all of them, and I used one of them there. Then I researched some other stuff that I kind of knew about already, partly from her recommendations, partly from, I would like to have BB as well. So thanks BB for telling me about voices.com, because I want to do that in the future as well. Again, I've got savings enough for a premium account, which I didn't actually mention because I knew I was going to take away points in the presentation. So again, I've noticed that one thing I can do really well in this last year of university, one thing that I know I can do for absolute certain, is deliver a very good pitch. Be that for the musical itself, like I said before, or I don't know, for what I want to do in the future, anything really. I've realized that, I guess one thing that I just slowly adapted to over time was just talking to crowds about stuff. Who knows? You know, one thing I want to do was at one point, because I said I did that platform presentation before, I want to do a TED talk on gacha one time. Maybe not within the next year or so, but something like that. Just so I can show, like, you know, my journey there, how it could actually change over time, something along those lines. I just go ahead and let's go ahead and cement that place. Another gacha first. I might be able to do the first TED talk on gacha. Who knows? Now put me in a good place too. You put that on a CV. Did a TED talk on online game trend series thing. Obviously phrase it far better than I just did there, because that was atrocious. But you know what I mean. So yeah, I don't know. I can go from having thinking that, you know, I've just, you know, wasted my life, that nothing that I've spent my time doing is going to help me out or not. And I, lucky enough, have gone through that a bunch of times because of the Mutant Girl. Like, oh, I've spent all this time on this series that hasn't properly taken off for all these reasons that I've mentioned, or just because it wasn't the moment or something. But really, I've noticed that one thing that the Mutant Girl has that other shows don't usually is an audience that keeps coming back to it. Because all of those gacha things of the past, I look at those channels, some that are still posting today, and they're getting fractions of views than before. That happened with it's Mimi-chan as well, back in the day. And because the Mutant Girl has kept on going, it gives a story people can keep on coming back to and keep on being invested in. Which is why, again, I want to put it forward for the presentation and for assessment. Because I think that, honestly, given that's my most well-known story ever, and I've now got the statistics to prove it, I think it's probably my best foot forward. And who knows, maybe I'll be able to write for animation after all, considering that that's something I want to do as well. I want to write for animated TV shows. Obviously I need to watch some more of them beforehand, but the fact that I've actually, you know, been doing something that's similar enough and trying to push forward the technology of gacha to suit that, I feel like I'm in a good spot. So really, this week was all about me reevaluating my life and deciding where I want where to actually go from now on. And obviously, partly as well, give an excuse to produce some more stuff, some more edited content for you all, so you can all keep unsubscribing, because I won't be lazy anymore with videos. So yeah, I think that's that for now. That wasn't too much of a weekly update. I missed the social yesterday because I was doing streaming. There was a family birthday as well that I did a mal call for. That's basically it. Rehearsal over reading week. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know. Boring stuff. So yeah, please leave a like, all things like your opinion matters, and subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know, I guess, what you think in the future. Oh, another thing I was going to do, creative consultancy. That's another thing I mentioned. But yeah, we'll see. On that note, until next time, farewell.